into the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Barons, Cole Weaver, Tacoma Stars playing host to the St. Louis Ambush, and we are just about set, getting underway for the late night capping of MASL action on a Sunday night. The third game across the league today. We'll get into some of those other scores and the current standings just a little bit later. Think you can predict the MASL? Head on over to nxtbets.com to place your wagers on all the MASL action this season. Cole, looking at tonight's game, what are your predictions? What do you got in store for us, Tacoma Stars, St. Louis Ambush?
Here's my bet. Defensive battle throughout the first two periods. It's going to be really tight, really congested. I do see the Juice Cocks getting on the scoreboard early, but I also see the Ambush really holding it down defensively. Stars at home have been really good. I expect this to be tight until the end of the game. 6-4 Stars coming out on top.
All right, you are in for a good one on this Sunday evening. We thank you for joining us today. Possession pings back and forth with one another. From my memory, that's the first time I've been able to see Logan wear the captain's band for the Tacoma Stars. Jones is now a veteran figure with this team, and just a few years ago, Lima rushing in. Douglas Lima, the left foot strike, and it's just wide. Lima again, and he just misses out on the opposite post. One to the left, one to the right. He's got to dial in the third opportunity. Jones is in a foot race, tracking back. Whistle blown, foul called.
Well, geez, I called for it to be a defensive battle, but we already have some really good cut opportunities here. Douglas Lima on his favorite left foot. We talked about him in a couple weeks now. He's got a vicious strike on him, and he has two cracks at it, but just basically hits both sides of the goal, unable to keep it on frame, but really good opportunity early on in this game.
So a little bit of action in front of Nascimento's net. Did not need to use his hands just yet, but the reigning goalkeeper of the week is ready. Christian Fernandez on the field. He's making his MASL debut here with the Tacoma Stars. He's wearing the number 90 at the top of your screen, just in front of the benches. To Caceres' left now is Christian Fernandez, new face for the Tacoma Stars. Cox tries to split two defenders. He's taking away possession. It's Yuri. Yuri splits a ball in, and Beretta jumps out, pounces well, and reads it. Now he distributes. Cox tries to go in on the run again, and Riley Yuri is there to shut it down. Back-to-back excellent defensive plays.
Yeah, excellent defensive work, but also a little bit of errant decision-making from Cox. And it really all started from Caceres, just a little bit of an errant pass, puts him on the back foot, and he had to make a decision, tried to split two defenders, didn't work out for him.
Hansen's header is clipped and deflected over the boards. There's calls that that's a defensive clearance out of the final third, but it's not going to be the case. It's a deflection that then goes up and over the boards. Correa is asked to back up his wall. Cox joins. Here's a low ball to the near side boards. Nobody followed that runner. Shot. Briscoe dives off of all fours to make the header, doing anything he can to get in front of it. Here's another strike. Beretta parries it away. Correa chests it down into the window. He's into a double team. Plays up the boards for Cox. Rivers uses help from a screen from an official. He's got Briscoe to the right. Rivers taken off of his feet. No foul called there. Couple of boo birds rained down from the crowd. Rivers thought he was clipped and in behind. Play on is the decision on the field. Jones strips Torrealba of possession. Mendoza splits a pair. Rivers now goes square for Hernandez. Jones makes a run up the gut. Hernandez for Jones, who makes a circling run back to the midway stripe. This is Douglas Lima. He's got the shooter sleeve on his left arm like he's Kobe Bryant. He's going to lace one from distance. Good save from Nascimento. Correa chases it down. Good speed on this St. Louis team. They are pressing these bouncing balls these Tacoma Stars are having to chase down.
Can't express how important that is from Adrian Correa there. Just putting in a little bit of the afterburners and getting on the ball.
Ramos give and go with Romero. Couldn't get on the other end of it. I believe that was John Gates stepping in front of that. Here he is dialing up the run, waiting for this off the boards. Excuse me, that's Quito. Quito took away Romero's foot from underneath him, and it's a foul in the corner called by our official, Kelsey Harms. Our crew chief tonight is Josh Wilkins.
Now, Peyton, early on in this game, we've seen quite a bit of back and forth already. It's a little bit less possession-oriented than I might have expected. But that doesn't mean it's not a defensive battle. We've already seen some really good defensive recoveries. Tacoma are in a good spell of possession at the moment. Let's see if they can take advantage.
No shots on goal listed yet on the in-house scoreboard for the Tacoma Stars. Nascimento has yet to use his hands to make a save. John chases this ball down in the box. Shoulder-to-shoulder battle, play on. Tyler John gets a favorable bounce to him. This is Fernandez. Caceres gets himself into a wide position, finds the ball. Fifth home game of the season for the Tacoma Stars. Opened up with 2 against the Baltimore Blast. They played 1 against the Empire Strikers, and most recently last week, the San Diego Sockers came to pay a visit. Tacoma Stars 4-0 at home. John trying to turn. Tacoma Stars with the lowest number, tied the lowest number of games played so far this season. The rest of January ramps up for them. A lot of double games throughout the week. A midweek game and a weekend game for the Tacoma Stars all throughout the month of January. This is Correa. Hansen drives the ball to the windows. Fernandez backs it down. Mendoza gets around one, tries to bring it back out. It was Togba who he was going around. Correa puts it on his right, goes shoulder to shoulder. Carpet comes up. For the moment, play will continue. Ramos puts it on his left. He hits off the short side wall. Ball floats up over into the netting. And that's going to take us into the media timeout. Tacoma Stars 0, St. Louis Ambush 0. We'll be right back after this media timeout right here on MASL TV. Right back into the Accesso Showwear Center. A top-of-the-arc restart. This is Mendoza over the top of it. Caceres runs over. Fernandez skies it. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more.
And looking for a little bit of trickery, just moving the ball away from that initial wall, but strike was off target and a little bit disappointing in the end. Stars haven't been amazing at these set-piece plays so far this year. It'll definitely be on the mind of the team tonight, see if they can convert a little bit more effectively.
Briscoe thighs that ball up the boards towards Rivers. Rivers takes a two-hand shove to the chest. Beforehand, though, it was Paolo Nascimento who had carried that ball all the way to the midway stripe to knock it in. Not saying that they're going to play that free-flow style of Empire Striker soccer, but be on the lookout for it. There's another look at that foul.
Kyle Rivers, second time tonight, just a bombing run up the wing. Winning a free kick both times. Something that he provides to the team, a very unique dynamic, similar to a Kai Briscoe. Very valuable.
Jones intercepts, turns right in to the pressing ambush. No pun intended, it's O'Keefe. Jones now carries forward. Drops back for the crafty, creative Nani Mendoza. This is Romero. Hernandez across the logo. This is Jones. Ramos was not making a checking run as Jones played that ball, so a little miscommunication. O'Keefe plays himself off the boards around Lima, loses possession. Here's Lima with a little bit of space in front of him. Can he make much of it? Stings a ball to the backside for Ramos. Ramos fires a shot. It's deflected up and over. We should be seeing a corner kick opportunity here for the Tacoma Stars.
Douglas Lima is just so dangerous when he gets on that left foot. Anytime he's getting the ball, he's looking for a shot. He's looking for something off the boards, and he's looking to create anything.
So not quite a corner kick restart. It'll all run the same. Just about 2 feet off that spot. And it comes all the way back for Hernandez as the initial ball was deflected away. Correa back on the field. Jamel Cox onto the field. Romero carrying up the bottom of your screen. Romero puts a strike on Nascimento. He makes a save, his first one of the night. Caceres with a deflection that falls to Romero. Romero might run it back. Do it again. Romero wants it on his left this time. Toe poke for Caceres. It's deflected. Thigh pass back to the goalkeeper. Stars bench are up in arms. They want the pass back. No call on that. If it was extremely egregious, we would have seen Adam Becker throw out the challenge flag. Hansen getting back down. Little target ball for Cristo. Cristo's ball off of Rivers. Correa plays it back for Beretta. We're going to get a whistle here. Beretta might be hurt again.
Yeah, it looked like he took a knee to the side as he was coming to collect that ball. Really great work from the goalkeeper to be alert and understanding what his teammate was looking to do. But Carrera looking to chest the ball back, wasn't quite aware of the pressure that was lurking. But again, credit to 00 for just really being on his toes. That could have been a disastrous play. But it turns into nothing more and another possession opportunity for the home side.
Chase Hansen was still arguing the back pass a little bit there as Beretta was being talked to by the referee. John hits the turf. Big clearance trying to crawl all the way up the boards. It's a 2-on-1. Correa had to make a decision, and he made the right one. Last second, he was going to sag off, then goes through the ball. Fernandez splits a pair of defenders. Here comes that rush again from the ambush. Hansen trying to slow it down. Good shot, good enough deflection from Hansen to make sure Riley Uri doesn't get the game's first goal. Long ball in. Hansen tries to funnel up the boards. Referee is going to take a pause in play. He interfered. Four minutes, 25 seconds remain in this first quarter. 0-0 so far. Cole, you talked about defensive battle.
Yeah, here it is. Both teams have had opportunities in front of goal, and they've had these possession spells. There hasn't been any real clear-cut opportunity, but we might have one here now.
Bouncing ball, Fernandez looking to open his account. Hernandez, the header, and it's settled back.
But that's what defensive units do. Even though there might be half chances of shots on goal. They really have the ability to close down the space, good blocks, and turning in full chances into half chances. And with a solid back line as well as a solid goalkeeper, those usually get snuffed out. And not surprised that we haven't seen anything clear-cut here of late.
Gates tried to play himself up the wall, but he ended up playing it into the Tacoma Stars bench. So the Stars will restart on a free kick.
In games like this, it's really going to come down to power plays and conversions. Each team are likely going to have the opportunity to go a man up at some point throughout this game. Question is, can they take advantage of it?
Williamson gets a little bit on that deflection. Sends it forward is Cristo. Jones back under. SK pressing hard. Beretta splits a little bit of the pressure. This is Lima. Briscoe, he gets kicked. Kicked hard. He's going to be feeling that one all week long.
Yeah, Kai Briscoe did the dirty work there, but credit to the goalkeeper for splitting the lines and finding a second layer. Douglas Lima with a good touch and turn, relieving all this pressure, allowing for some rotations. And now the Stars are going to be able to get their attacking players on the pitch and a good opportunity to get one in the back of the net.
Cox with a strike that's deflected by O'Keefe. It's played up the wall. Caceres safely plays back for Beretta. John. Robert Williamson defending him. Maybe the best hair in the league, Robert Williamson. I want to make sure that that is noted.
Strong.
It's Troy Polamalu-esque. Surely we need to get Robert Williamson a Head and Shoulders deal at some point.
Adds an element. Give it to him. I'm all for it.
Correa thinks about going long. Settles for the short pass to Cox. 2:20 remaining in the first quarter. We still stand goalless. Neither team has had a booking of either way. Here's John. John trying to turn Williamson. He plays off the corner of the board. Cox does a good job running onto it. Give and go with John. Cox gets it back and plays for Hansen. Romero. Left foot off the window. Cox wants to crash. This is Yuri. Correa works himself back into a good defensive position. Yuri gets through the double team that Jamel Cox double downed on. This is O'Keefe.
It's so simple, but Adrian Correa, the track back time there is fantastic. I can't say enough.
Falsani with a heavy touch. Hansen cleans it up, but Hansen can't do enough to get up to that ball. Danger now. This is Michaud. Good inside-out play, and this ball sneaks in to the backside post. Just like that, the quick give and go. And we got our first goal tonight. It's Torrealba.
Really a gross goal from the visitors, but they won't mind. They had a mini spell of possession there after a breakaway, and the Stars didn't really take control of the ball once it happened. And Torrealba just finds himself in between defenders, gets a toe on the ball, and finds the right trajectory. Beretta had no opportunity to do anything about it. Really dead in the crowd here at home, but 1-0, 1 minute left in the first period.
I believe it's Falsane with the assist. 60 seconds till we get into the quarter break. The Ambush have a 1-0 lead on the road. Really against the run of play there. Tacoma with so much possession. I guess not quite generating as many shots as you feel a team should when possessing that heavily. And the Ambush just make the most of their opportunity on the other end.
And I think when you have such a strong defense, I'll come back in a second.
Fernandez maybe had an opportunity for a quick counter, as it was Hernandez who won a ball and put it into a dangerous area.
And Peyton, like I was mentioning, when you have such a strong defense, it's almost like you enjoy those opportunities, and the counterattacks, you know they're going to come.
Ball off the boards. Another opportunity is dangerous for the Ambush.
you know those counterattacking opportunities are going to present themselves. It's really just one of taking advantage when they come, and the Ambush managed to do that. They're going to be really happy as they go into this period, at least 1-0 up.
Lima taken to ground. Foul's going to be called, and it's on Lima with under 8 seconds to play here in this first quarter. Beretta is out of his goal. Kelsey Harm sets this ball down, and we're going to get walked off. Rivers is going to get asked to back up. So I guess Lima's called for the handball on the ground because I don't know if there's enough contact there.
Little bit harsh. It is an opportunity.
Cristo takes this shot off the outside of the foot. Jones, no whistle blown there. This is going to run out the clock. St. Louis Ambush are leading 1-0 after 1 quarter of play. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this. You're watching Major Arena Soccer on MASL TV.
For the visitors, for sure.
Ramos beats Williamson. I do love this high press that we're seeing from St. Louis Ambush. I know the last time we were here at the show where we saw the San Diego Sockers 20 hours after they had just played a game, so they weren't going to be a high-pressing team. One of the most beautiful things in indoor soccer is a well-run high press, and right now you're seeing it from St. Louis.
Yeah, the energy output that it requires is significant. And anytime you're on the road, it needs to be talked about.
SK gets a ball in. He chips this over the top of Briscoe. Maybe he was looking for some contact. Nothing called. And let's see. They're going to call off the Dogs. No high press on this possession. Maybe alternate, save the legs. Tacoma Stars walk the ball over the midway stripe. This is O'Keefe defending Caceres.
Really curious to see how that might change if they do hold a lead for the majority of the game. Obviously, you talk about teams changing their intent when they take advantage of the score, and do they sit back a little bit more, but I would argue that that might fall into the advantage of the Stars. And if I'm a visiting fan, I would want to see them continue this high press.
Jones weighs his decision as he's pressed by Cristo. Takes a little shove in the boards, but no foul there. Cristo just using his big frame to drive Logan Jones nearly off the field. It's a big body on Robert Cristo.
That's a big body. Big body and big body. Love to see that match up throughout the evening.
Robert Cristo stands in 6'5", 220.
I think that qualifies.
Strike off the right foot. It's dead in the center of the box thanks to a brilliant touch by Tyler John. It was a dangerous play from Togba. But, man, Tyler John just killed that ball in the center of the arc. That was dangerous.
Seriously, it just died. And credit to Beretta as well. We're going to come back to that replay maybe later. But a cat pouncing on top of the ball. Got a strong fist to it and corralled it in his possession.
Fernandez plays for Hansen. This is Lima. William Eske applying pressure. He's got the captain's band on tonight. Subtly, the pink accent of his captain's band kind of blends into the pink accents of these St. Louis Ambush jerseys. Cole, you ever spend time in St. Louis? Ramos misses out on a header.
You know, I haven't. I'm trying to think of a trip, a soccer journey. There hasn't been much travel in the area. Most of the time it's all the way over to the East Coast or mostly on the West Coast here.
Nascimento wants to help but can't. This ball played up the boards by Briggs. I went on a trip last summer to St. Louis. I saw Busch Stadium. I did the Gateway Arch. But I'll tell you what, I had the best tacos of my life at some taco shop right outside of Busch Stadium.
Really?
Oh, man, I forget the name of the place. I will never forget the taco. It was incredible. It was amazing. It was also like 11 p.m. on like a Tuesday night, and I had the most fantastic meal of my life.
That's when you find
in
them.
St. Louis.
I will say, ladies and gentlemen, that coming from a West Coast man, particularly here up in Seattle, that is high praise.
O'Keefe loses possession. Ramos takes it over. was in St. Louis for about 24 hours and continued my journey. I was on a road trip, so short stop, but it was a great stop.
Yeah.
Here's Yuri. Cuts it to his right. Christo, top of the area. Jones battling. Christo is going to ping this off the windows, and it's easy for Beretta.
Christo's been a problem anytime he gets on the ball. Such a big man with clean feet. He's managed to work his way through, whether it's through physicality or technicality. Getting balls off the boards there, that's going to create opportunities for the visitors. Look to see that throughout the evening.
John working into the corner. Correa helps short, and now it's a skip pass for Hernandez. Cox goes square for Briscoe. This is Mendoza. Correa, bottom of your screen now. I like to say Adrian Correa, pound for pound, the best player in MASL. I don't think that there's anybody at his size with his quality. I mean, the guy packs a punch like a heavyweight fighter. He's got the speed of a lightweight. I mean, he does it all.
I'd back it up.
Here's Briscoe.
With everything you're saying, I've been playing against and with Adrian Correa for the last decade, and that man is a fantastic athlete and such a student of the game, whether it's outdoor or indoor, to point out, by the way. And those are two very unique games.
Correa's header into a dangerous area. Whistle blown as Kyle Rivers came through. Maybe just a bit out of control. And it's going to be a dangerous free kick. Rivers maybe took an elbow to the head. Right now there's an ambush player still down. Take another look.
Just a coming together of bodies. As you mentioned, Kyle Rivers takes almost like a shoulder or a elbow to the head, but it is penalized against him.
You know, when you lead in with your back in that sort of way, it's going to be tough to try and not to avoid the foul. Here's a square pass short. Poked away for the time being. Christian Briggs has to drop this all the way back. I want to say, Cole, I took a minute to Google the restaurant because I needed to give the restaurant credit in St. Louis. And it's Condado Tacos, and it's just behind the left field wall over there at Busch Stadium. Incredible. Back to the action. Here's a right-footed strike that slips under Luis Beretta, and the ambush double their lead on the road. It's 2-0 here at the ShoWare Center, and the Stars are shook.
Oh, Luis Beretta, unfortunate. It's a pretty routine save in the end. It falls in that awkward space just underneath your outside foot. It looks so easy on camera, but goalkeeper to goalkeeper, those are the spaces where you have to work your feet out. You have two options. Either it's a shift over and it's more of a collapse dive on top of the ball, or you're getting your feet out of the way and you're pinning it to the ground. And it just looked like he didn't make his mind up. And when you don't do it, those split-second decisions are so crucial, and it just falls right underneath. And unfortunately, it's 2-0.
For Turrialba, that's his 10th goal on the season. It's his second tonight. A dangerous man against these Tacoma Stars. Fans, catch MASL Monday every Monday night on MASL TV and on CBS Sports Golazo Network. Alex Bachavansky and Phil Levanko are joined each week by special guests from across the league to recap and discuss all the league's hot topics. Ramos puts a ball off the corner. It deflects off of referee Kelsey Harms, but there was no sort of danger there coming from the Tacoma Stars to necessitate a stop in play. Caceres tries to shield a little bit. Beretta's going to have to play this with his feet. SK reads it well and pulls it back. It was a 3-on-1 opportunity for the ambush, but nobody could get that ball to their feet into a dangerous space. SK at the midway stripe, pressured by Caceres. Long curling ball, finding O'Keefe. Pardon me, that's Falsane. Ramos hits a long diagonal ball, looking for the speedy Juice Cox. Gates wisely plays it back with the thigh. Nascimento rolls out to himself. He plays a long ball. Rivers called for the foul as the big body Christo takes a little contact from behind, and it's going to lead to another ambush free kick.
Yeah, Kyle Rivers once more just got a little bit too aggressive in the back there. Shoulder leaning in.
Briggs plays off the wall. SK was wide open running through. Kyle Rivers may need to watch himself for his overall foul count, as 4.5 will equal a yellow card and 6 in a contest will lead to an ejection. Ball played up the boards. This is Yuri. Turns it on his left. Yuri with a strike. It's over the top of the bar. Jones has a little bit of space. Plays back for Cox. Cox and Jones go for a change. Hansen on top of the ball. John surveys. Correa backs it up. John makes a great run in behind. Uh-oh, John took a shot. He's grabbing his ankle, and that's a tough place to be. Ball goes out the other way. Yuri plays to his right-hand side. He gets it back, top of the arc. He's going to beat Barreto one-on-one. It was a 5-on-4 opportunity as Tyler John is still down behind the play. The ambush go up 3-0, but the Stars have bigger concerns in the score line as their leading scorer is down. This is going to lead us into the media timeout. It is ambush 3. It is Tacoma Stars 0. We'll have word and hopefully an update on Tyler John when we return. Don't go anywhere. It's the Tacoma Stars on MASL TV. The lights are bright and the fans are loud. It's the St. Louis Ambush taking on the Tacoma Stars. Stream it live on MASLplus.tv and replay the game on demand. Clip it, share it, live it again. Make sure you're to favorite your team to get instant updates on every game. Tyler John went off to the locker room during that break. So we'll see how the Tacoma Stars are able to respond without their tied for top leading goal scorer. But Mike Ramos is going to pick up some of the slack. He makes it 3-1. The Tacoma Stars are right back in this thing. Off the kickoff, just over 6 minutes to play in this first half, and Mikey Ramos is able to get the Tacoma Stars on the scoreboard.
Peyton, we barely had an opportunity. We didn't even have an opportunity to talk about the conceded goal a moment ago from Riley Yuri and how great of a finish that was. But what a finish from Mikey Ramos. On the far side, just gets it onto his strong right foot and buries it into the near post off of the goalkeeper. And that's the response that they needed, especially with Tyler John going into the locker room. What a blow that is, needing someone like Mike Ramos to step up and get them back into this game, and that's exactly what they've done. 3-1.
Torre Alba, a couple of goals tonight. He hits a long, low ball. So now this next goal becomes also important. Here's a header. Hernandez is trying to clear it away. Correa gets himself into a little mix-up. Rivers wins it. Rivers between two, and a whistle's going to be called. I don't know how much of a foul this is. I do think that from the angle where the referee was positioned is going to lead to that whistle, because I don't think Robert Williamson gets a whole lot of Kyle Rivers, but I think Kyle Rivers positions himself extremely well.
Ben, I think you described it perfectly. Kyle Rivers is such a pacey, counterattacking player, and when he gets in between two defenders, it always is going to look like a foul, even though that ball might have gotten away from him.
5.5 minutes. Ramos for Jones. Cox with a strike on a full volley. He wanted a deflection that it was up and over the top, but I don't think he's getting that one. Stars look better on the offensive attack over the last 2 minutes.
And I think it's important to point out, the Stars throughout the season have been such a momentum team. When things are going well for them, things go really well. They score multiple goals in conceded moments, but when they're not doing so well, they often concede. So hopefully, from a home point of view, they can take advantage of this good pace of play.
Cristo just won a header off of a Nascimento throw, and the ease that he won that header in the air was incredible. It was like he was 10 feet tall. Cox takes a touch onto his left foot. He's got a strike. The Stars got 2. It's a 1-goal deficit now. The Tacoma Stars, within a minute and 20 seconds of the ambush going up 3-0, have got themselves back within a goal.
And just like I mentioned, momentum team. And I talked about it pregame as well, how important the juice is getting on the score sheet early in the game. He's done it in almost, I think, every home game throughout the season. He manages to get the second tonight and get them back within 1. Massive momentum goal. About 5 minutes left to play. 3-2.
Assisted by Mikey Ramos, so have himself a night so far. This Tacoma Stars team, they hit that bouncing ball so well. It's like their foot is made of lead, and if that ball is bouncing shin high, they're going to have some serious horsepower on it. Correa tackled into the boards. It's just a foul, just a common foul. No boarding, nothing excessive.
And this is a young team. They love to play that aggressive and physical game. I think it really leans into their style when it gets back and forth.
Mendoza pulls back. So 1 goal in the first quarter, 4 goals in the opening 10 minutes of the second quarter. We still got 4 minutes and 15 seconds to play before halftime. Lima hits the ground. This ball's going out the other way. Hernandez goes shoulder to shoulder before the back pass for Beretta. Ambush pressing high. Rivers trying to get out of it. Togba with great pressure and great speed up that lower side boards at the bottom of your screen.
And the whole reason the Stars got out of that right there was a combination of Beretta and Mendoza being so calm in possession. Really great setup pass from the goalkeeper and a one-time outside the boot flick inside from Mendoza. And that's what's created this opportunity here. Such a small thing, but really, really important.
Jones was over the ball. He runs to the corner. Cox heel flick for Ramos off the restart. For just a moment in that last possession buildup, Logan Jones was looking like he was in the target forward position. I wonder if we're going to see Jones maybe pushed a little bit higher upfield with the hole that Tyler John now vacates.
Yeah, and someone like Eddie Na not on the field tonight for the Stars. They're going to need that more target forward body.
Cox a header to himself into danger. Ramos, it settles for him and he just misses. Here's Fernandez. He calls his own number. Big challenge. It leaves one in behind. It's Togba on the ground. Stars play on. Togba might be in a dangerous spot. Ramos settles back for Cox. Cox again has an opportunity. Nascimento comes out, and the second he pins the ball down, we get a stoppage in play for James Togba. He's been down ever since that challenge, the collision with Christian Fernandez. Fernandez stayed up on his feet, making his debut for the Tacoma Stars tonight. Take another look. He's going to have a strike, and maybe Togba's got an opportunity there for a foul. I don't think Fernandez made any sort of contact with the ball.
Yeah, from our point of view up here, we're seeing the same angle that you're seeing on your screen right now, and he's holding the nether regions, and it looked like a follow-through on a missed volley opportunity. Looks like he should be fine. Those are ones that you can just shake off after the course of a couple minutes. But like you mentioned, Peyton, he was in a dangerous spot going down, and in a really opportunistic moment for the Stars, they weren't able to capitalize.
St. Louis 3, it's Tacoma 2. Under 3 minutes to play in this first half. Nascimento on the restart. And this is Randy Martinez. Have not seen a lot of 91 tonight. Falsane up the wall. SK into a dangerous position. He read that well from Torrealba. Ball down into the corner. It's flicked back. Falsane. Romero gets his foot in there to clean up. He's trying to go up the wall past Falsane. Couple of deflections land favorably for Romero. Taken off of his feet, right back up. Romero and Rivers are just chugging along the boards. Bodies flying everywhere, and finally a whistle gets drawn as Rivers was on the ground and pulls down William Eskay.
Really great effort there from Romero. He had 2 or 3 opportunities to maintain possession. He kept just chugging down the boards. Eventually gave up the foul, but release and pressure, got some rotations.
Here's a strike, not much on it. Mendoza switches the field for Ramos. He's got no support up the boards. Pointed for Lima to get forward. Here comes that St. Louis press. Hernandez for Ramos. Ramos away from a double team. Hernandez is opportunistic against Cristo. Lima, left foot strike. Great save, Nascimento. The thigh pass back off the window. How dangerous was that?
Risky, but it paid off. And once more, Douglas Lima with that left foot forcing a save. It worked out in the end with the pass back.
SK with a strike, and he beats Luis Beretta near post. It's his 123rd career goal. William SK has been doing this for quite some time.
Just a quick move, and it almost looks like Beretta's caught off guard with how quick that shot comes in. Didn't seem to get his feet set. It was at the near post. It was about head high. It's a great take from number 14. But I hate to say it, a little disappointing from the Stars goalkeeper once again, 2-4. About 1:30 left to play.
So William SK, the most experienced player on the field for St. Louis, because Lucas Almeida is not rostered tonight with the team. Almeida just had his 200th career game, currently sitting at 202. SK, 145 career MASL games. Stars looking to get back in this. Ramos puts a half chance towards the goal. I think he's maybe hoping somebody runs onto that. There's some sort of deflection. Nonetheless, we are under a minute in this second quarter, and the Stars would love to tack on one more before the final whistle of this half. But the ambush might have another. Beretta reads it well. Second chance effort. Correa's header. Caceres up the wall. Not out of danger yet. 30 seconds remain. Whistle blown. Foul called on Fernandez.
Heroic save from 0-0 there. Coming off his line strong after the foot save, but he's not done yet. About 30 seconds left to hold out strong.
Timeout called as SK trots himself onto the field. St. Louis, they're going to try and draw something up. They need to capitalize here. This team is feeling good on the road at Tacoma, up 4-2, looking at halftime. Might be able to make it 5-2 here.
Yeah, momentum has shifted as we're seeing this save once more. And Adrian Carrera, we've talked about him a couple times, coming up big in the defensive unit. We'll be back in a moment.
As St. Louis right now holding on to this 4-2 lead. Let's take a look at the goal scorers for tonight. SK has the last, who made it 4-2. Riley Uri has himself a goal. He had the third one of the night. And Torrealba had himself a brace in just the opening 20 minutes of the game. Scored a goal in the first quarter, scored a goal in the second quarter. He's got 10 on the season. William SK got his 6th of the season. Right now, St. Louis, everything's going the way of the ambush right now. We'll see how they want to handle this free kick opportunity. Tacoma, heavy defensive unit on the field. Hernandez, Correa, Caceres, Hansen, and Rivers. What this unit also provides is counterattacking speed. Kyle Rivers, Adrian Correa, if they can get a ball poked out, they're going to be one-on-one towards the goal.
Yeah, there's plenty of time left here for some crazy opportunities and a crazy finish to the half. But first, they need to be solid in their defensive efforts here and make sure they don't concede. A 2-4 deficit is not as crazy as 5-2.
SK passes by Thomas. Torrealba takes the strike from the yellow line, and he gets it back. Ambush ball down towards the corner. Beretta makes a catch. See how the Stars want to counter out of this? Beretta's going to call his own number. He skips ahead to Rivers. Ball intended for Lima, and it's deflected out of bounds. So you got under 7 seconds to play. The Tacoma Stars might be able to lob a ball in and get something just before the end of the half. Hansen wants guys to go long. He's going to send Correa forward. Lima and Caceres are still back. Hansen's going to buy a little bit of time, asking Torrealba to take a few steps back. Hansen off the wall. Lima trying to chase down. That ball hit. And we're going to go into halftime. The Ambush have a 4-2 lead. Stay tuned as fans get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams by following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram and MASL Arena on Twitter. Peyton Barron's Cole Weaver here. St. Louis Ambush 4, the Tacoma Stars 2. Make sure you subscribe today to MASL TV on YouTube. You'll find game rebroadcasts, MASL shows, highlights, and more. So Tacoma, a little bit of work to do if they want to keep their perfect home record intact. It's going to start out with Ramos, Cox overlapping. Nascimento maybe came out of the box. I'll be curious if a red flag gets thrown from Becker, because that would be a defining play. Briscoe taken off of his feet. Foul's going to get called. I thought Nascimento was clearly out of the box.
Virueta, goalkeeper here, was screaming at the bench to throw that flag, because he has a perfect angle looking down the field, especially in alignment with the edge of that box, and it's going to be a free kick here.
So no challenge flag thrown. I just saw Adam Becker give a thumbs up to Beretta, saying his voice is heard. Ramos with a shot. Deflected off the face of the defender. Here's a quick breakout. Good strike. Yuri off the near post. Cristo, second time, no. Denied by Beretta.
Great work there just to take the steam out of the counterattack. Really fast start in the third quarter here. Right down the throat of Beretta, and he does well to hold on to it as well.
Mendoza takes a strike. He needs to be dangerous if the Stars are going to get back into this. Fernandez with a one-time strike. He's playing his debut MASL game. Mendoza on the backside. He's unable to score. Great save from Nascimento.
Nascimento just doing the basics, getting across, getting his footwork right, staying low and staying big. That ball from Mendoza was struck very clean, but along the ground. And that's extremely important when you watch this replay here.
So Fernandez got in a little shoulder-to-shoulder challenge against the boards. The foul wasn't called, but a stop in play is what led to that whistle. The Stars are going to be on the free kick. They waited till the ball came out and away from the mouth of the goal. Although I didn't get a look who it was. It could have been Mario Falsane. Was unable to see the number. But the Stars are back on possession. Fernandez looked dangerous in his debut. Mendoza strikes from distance and not even close. That ball, if that netting wasn't there, ends up on 167 heading southbound.
Yeah, Peyton, one thing I want to point out here, we mentioned who's going to fill the shoes of Tyler John, and at the moment, it looks like it's a combination of Mike Ramos and Kyle Rivers. Kyle Rivers, who we're seeing putting pressure on the goalkeeper right now.
Nascimento puts a ball from the midway stripe up and over Beretta's netting.
But that's so important. Tyler John being the leading goal scorer for this team, when you take away that immediate threat, somebody has to fill the shoes, and it needs to be a team effort. We'll see if the goals can come from other sources.
The Ambush looking for their third straight win. They're coming off of a win last Sunday, 7-6 over the Comets. And just before that, they beat the Comets again on New Year's Eve. Both of those were one-goal affairs. The Ambush have yet to win a game by more than one goal. All 4 wins have been one-goal contests. Williamson nearly dispossesses Ramos. He did for just a moment. Briscoe in for Lima. Lima tries to turn out of it, spins. He avoided the contact, but he also didn't get fouled in the process. This leads to an Ambush breakout. Right foot strike, and it's up and over. Torrealba was looking for his third. He was looking for his 11th on the season. and all he found was safety netting.
Yeah, he'll want that opportunity back as it fell kindly for him. Just couldn't get his knee over the ball there as we saw it come off the boards. He drives it well above, no harm in the end.
Hernandez and Cox playing in the neutral third. Cox was hanging that ball out there, puts it dangerous into the middle of the area. Nestor Hernandez keeps it in play. Romero. Cox has such fast feet. He dangles that ball where a defender thinks that they can reach in on it, and then at the last second, pulls it away. He keeps that ball on a string. Stars just maintaining possession with 11 minutes to play in this third quarter. Briggs goes to ground. Rivers around him. Hernandez just taking some time, allowing some substitutions to be made. Mendoza's on the field. Ramos is on the field. Here's Jones into the attack. Off the windows, bouncing ball, Romero with a shot, a deflection, and Yahir Romero has the Stars within one yet again. These Tacoma Stars keep fighting back.
Romero won't care how it happens. It's not the cleanest strike, but it falls his way. And this is exactly what they need, and this is what they were talking about. We mentioned goals needed to come from other sources. And Romero, that's his first goal in the season, and what a big one it is to get them within one with 10.5 minutes left here in the third period. Massive change in momentum for the home side.
Jones goes up the boards. He just kind of bangs this ball off the wall. Nascimento gets some hands onto it, and that ball deflects its way in on the follow-up shot from Romero. Stars within one. Briscoe for Lima. Stars right back onto the attack. Caceres. A couple of defensive bodies on for the Stars. They might need to hold possession and get some changes. Ramos slides onto the field quickly.
For Romero, first goal of the night. First goal of this season.
Caceres for Lima. Lima, a strong-footed player on both sides, but loves the left foot. Same goes for Caceres. Correa. Under the foot of Briscoe. And the Stars just maintain possession. They want to play their style of game.
I think this is really smart right now. They're on the ascendancy, and they're just putting the pressure and making that defensive unit for the ambush work, tiring out the legs, getting their rotations when they can, getting those strong units back on the pitch as soon as possible.
Beretta goes long, looking for Ramos. Nascimento trying to wait for it to come inside. Ramos trying to play around the keeper. I like the aggression that he has there, but back to goal with the keeper being between him and the goal. I don't know if there's many places where he can place a ball.
As wishful thinking from Nascimento to assume that that ball is going to trickle into his box so he could pick it up, because Mike Ramos is all over that. The Stars continue to press the matter here.
Caceres knocks one forward. Rivers, the target. Chest down. This is Fernandez. Left foot strike. It's off the windows. Rivers maybe had a play. Whistle blown. Foul called. Kyle Rivers picks up another foul.
I hate to keep bringing it back up, Peyton, but a Tyler John in that exact circumstance, and you would expect a goal. That ball falls to Kyle Rivers, and it's really one of those where you would expect a lethal striker to take advantage of any half opportunity. Nothing against Kyle Rivers, as it's a difficult one to bring down. But nonetheless, it is a half chance and something that goes begging for the home side.
Falsani back for O'Keefe. Ball bounces into the corner unfavorably for the Stars. Back with Williamson. Top of the glass bouncing through. Beretta tries to get a hand on it. O'Keefe can't believe what he missed out on. Had a kind of an empty net opportunity if he would have just been able to get a touch around Beretta. MASLsoccer.com is your home for everything Major Arena Soccer League. All the latest news, leaderboards, highlights, and more. (4-3) following the Yahir Romero goal just over 3 minutes ago. Beretta off of his line. He collides with Cristo. He's hurt. He wants to know where the foul was. Back up onto his feet. Makes the secondary save. Beretta still looking for where the call was. Another strike. It's wide. Cristo's chasing this down. Fernandez couldn't beat Briggs in the foot race. Rivers goes head over heels. Cristo, a little bit of support to his right. Puts it on his right foot. Goes back post. And Cristo has himself a goal.
Just unrelenting from the ambush, particularly from Robert Cristo. There is contact on the goalkeeper, but it's not really one that's enough. And we're going to see this again. But what a finish by Cristo, the big man, to extend the lead.
5-3, St. Louis Ambush lead the Tacoma Stars. Don't go anywhere. Third quarter action right after this on the MASL TV. Back into the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. New for 2026, staff writer Joseph Reyna and veteran coach Mark Litton have explained the game with perspectives from both sides of the glass in the MASL's newest show, Soccer Signal. With in-depth analysis, comprehensive backgrounds, and exclusive interviews from coaches around the league, don't miss Soccer Signal every other Thursday on MASL TV. Ambush with a 5-3 lead, looking to make it 6. Here's a strike. Beretta pins it against the wall.
Off to a fast-paced start following the break. Barely had a moment to extend the conversation about the Bosnian Robert Cristo. Fantastic feat from the big man, just never giving up on the play and burying the opportunity as it came to him, and an important extension of their lead.
St. Louis been playing very comfortable ahead of this game. Anytime that the Stars feel like they're clawing their way back, St. Louis has been able to answer.
That really shows to the mentality of this team and the maturity that they have. Obviously a very strong defensive unit, but they've been able to get it done on the other side of the field, and that's been the difference maker so far this evening.
Cox is fouled. Stars are going to have a free kick. Calling all artists, head to MASLsoccer.com to take part in the first ever MASL coloring contest. 3 winners will receive $100 gift certificates to Capelli Sport. Don't delay, submissions are due Friday, February 1st. With 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this third quarter, the St. Louis Ambush have matched their goal for average so far this season. They're averaging just under 5 goals a game. Caceres pushed in the back, no call. Plays this ball off of the ground, and now it's a breakout for the Ambush. So we'll see if the Ambush are able to get more goals through the net and build on this lead, or Tacoma Stars maybe have some ability to come back. Although on the other side of things, Tacoma, they're only averaging 3.7 goals a game. So they are exceeding, or near exceeding, their goal average.
Yeah, and that's really been the difference throughout tonight. We knew this was going to be a defensive battle, but the Ambush have just simply been better in taking charge of those opportunities as they come their way. I have to look at full replay, but I would assume that there's about 7 to 8 clear-cut chances, and they've managed to convert 5 of them, and that's huge.
And they break out so well. Here's Yuri in behind. Beretta with a sliding effort. SK doesn't catch the volley cleanly. And it seems like every time St. Louis has a defender all the way back, so it's nearly impossible for the Tacoma Stars to break out and play a counterattack of their own. but they get their 4 players upfield so well, so fast.
Yeah, it's really good maturity. I keep using that word, but it's clear to me as I'm seeing the structure of this team, how they're really patient when they are in possession plays. And Cristo here has been doing such a great job all night of doing exactly what he just did there, of holding up play, maintaining the possession, and continuing their rotations. Very nicely done.
Step over, takes on Correa. Beretta rolls that ball up into his hands.
If you are a kid and like to join us on field for the Tacoma Stars mini ball tots cleanup, please
Hansen for Lima.
section 108. Once again, if you'd like to assist,
Ramos tried to pop a ball to himself. Hansen runs onto it. Lima back for Jones.
at section 108 right now.
Fernandez. Continuing on, Fernandez, he gets a goal in his debut. He makes it 5-4. The Tacoma Stars are back within 1. Christian Fernandez looks up to the scoreboard. He wants to see a replay of his very first MASL goal.
And what a goal it is. Just relentless work. He never gives up on the opportunity. He had a couple bites at it. Starts off with really great defensive work, sizes up his defender, and just continues his run as it bounces off the boards. And a really clever finish into the far post. It can't be more important at the time of the game where the Stars were wavering. This game really could have started to lean in either direction. But great work from number 90, Christian Fernandez, bearing the opportunity as it came his way. 5-4.
St. Louis has been rather careless on the restarts. Tacoma already back under possession, but it seems like after each of the 4 Tacoma Stars goals, they are giving up possession within the opening 3 seconds of the restart. Correa does battle. Briscoe with an outlet pass to Cox, but it wasn't far enough in front of him. Romero mistouches. Jones and Beretta, they have this one covered all the way back. We're approaching the end of the 3rd quarter. 1 more to play. At least that is in regulation. Both of these sides are familiar with overtime so far this season. Hernandez runs through this ball. Kindly bounces off the glass. Romero is pushed to the ground and a foul is called. It was Riley Urey who fouls him.
Yeah, once more as we're looking at this replay here, Fernandez just digging out the opportunity and then pounces on it when it falls kindly for him.
Ramos turns on Williamson, faces forward. It's back for Caceres. Mendoza back to the glass. Inside for Ramos. Ramos is trying to draw out the ambush. This shell-style offense that the Tacoma Stars run, where you got 1 man in the middle and 4 bodies around him, and then it turns into overlapping runs, is really fun when Ramos is the man in the middle. So well with the bottom of his feet. Ramos is going to pick up a foul for a 2-hand shove, but just broke up the transition play.
I completely agree with you, though, Peyton. It allows for a very fluid and dynamic attacking front where any player that's on the pitch can really be the one to have that final strike. And so with the possession that they're starting to benefit from, it's really going to take advantage of those opportunities.
Cristo can't win the header. Caceres put just enough of a body on him to get him out of the way of the ball. Torrealba flicks this on. Caceres goes forward. Bounces off the wall right in front of our own statistician, Pete Richmeyer, down there at the midway stripe. Fernandez gets a toe poke. Cristo, dangerous area. Beretta cleans it up off the wall. That was dangerous for these Tacoma Stars.
Heart and mouth moment for the 0-0. As his touch just got away from him.
Fernandez is in behind. That ball doesn't bounce kindly off the boards. Kind of got caught up in that tarp, died, and gave it a weird bounce. Nascimento now, he's going to do a little dribbling of his own, come forward. Hit that diagonal ball, SK the target. Caceres, Lima, SK turns, top of the arc. It's off the wall. Fernandez, heel flick to no one. Torrealba dances through some shirts. We have the end of the third quarter. It's the St. Louis Ambush 5. It's the Tacoma Stars 4. 15 minutes of action in regulation coming up right after this on MASL TV. The only team with 6 games is Utica, who finds themselves in last place with 5 points. Tacoma trailing Milwaukee, San Diego, and Kansas City, and they got games in hand. 4 points behind both San Diego and Milwaukee, 6 points behind Kansas City, and they are 6 points back on Kansas City with 5 games in hand.
Yeah, and obviously they play Kansas City next away. And that's going to be an important game from the makeup as we start to see the bracket form and the league itself really come into fruition. But as I like to say, Pin, there's a lot of golf left to play here. There's a lot of season left.
It's never too early to look ahead to the postseason and see what you're made of. These Tacoma Stars have themselves in a really good position. I mean, 4th spot on the table, only 6 games played out of it. When you have Kansas City, who have 11 games played, you got San Diego and Milwaukee with 8 games played. I mean, Tacoma, their December and their January have put them into really good spots. Here's a quick breakout from the ambush. That was a really good play off the kickoff. I kind of dismissed how they were handling their kickoffs earlier. Here's Hansen on the counterattack. But boy, did William Esque take the kickoff on a rollback and then go storming downfield.
Yeah, straight to business. And both teams have started with an intent to score, which is exactly what we want to see. I mean, right at the end here, both sides are primed to take all the points. Question is, who can execute better?
Cox into a double team. It's another thing this ambush team is really good at, ambushing you when you're against the boards. If you turn your back, you're going to look up into a double team. Correa surveys and finds Romero at the bottom of your screen. Romero plays himself, trying to go around SK, loses his footing. SK now wants to go deep with it. Nestor Hernandez intervenes.
Yeah, Romero just in between two minds there. It looked like he wanted to go off the boards hard. Was in motion to do so and then just second-guessed himself.
Ramos beats Williamson to this ball. This is Mendoza. Mendoza into the attack. Gets a little bit of a hole. Hernandez has to play this ball off of the referee. Hernandez tries to use his big body to back everything down, and not much happening. Here's Cristo trying to slip a ball in behind for O'Keefe. Caceres is going to try and beat Cristo. O'Keefe tracks back, takes Caceres' feet out from underneath him. Back-to-back plays there. O'Keefe lost his footing. He slipped when the ball was being passed to him, and then he slips into Caceres as he's going to try and close down for the challenge.
Yeah, it just seems like a little bit of tired legs. He's been doing a lot of tracking back on these fast counterattacking opportunities. Caceres makes the most of it.
Caceres for Lima. Cox, top of the arc. Nearly loses possession. Somehow gets through a double team off the wall to himself. Centers it for Rivers, and Cristo steps in. Thought Cox had to be a step faster there if he wanted that ball to find Rivers. He did the hard work of beating those 2 men on the wall, just wasn't able to get that ball centered quick enough.
Just incredible how he managed to wiggle out of that double team with the ball, nevertheless create an opportunity, and here he is once more.
12:15 to play in regulation, 1-goal game. Neither team has been booked. Ramos turning on Williamson, left foot shot, it deflects. Cristo, the first man to get there, tries to play this long, it deflects off O'Keefe, bounces for Williamson. Correa with a little toe poke forward. Ramos tried to find Caceres, and it's behind, and a big fist pump for the ambush defense.
Cristo doing the dirty work. Got the goal on the other side, and he's still holding himself right on top of the arc.
Mendoza with a lot of real estate in front of him. Hits it wide off the boards. Cristo maybe a little bit stuck on the field. This is a long shift for the big man and a long defensive shift. Cox looks for Rivers. Ball off the top of the glass, still fighting for it. Cristo's gonna flick this forward. Fernandez is chasing it down. Header back to Beretta. This is gonna get the ambush to go for a change. Stars go for a change. So it looks like the ambush were able to get most new legs on the field. Talk about one of the few that stays on. Romero wants to attack at Riley Yuri. Romero off the boards. Briggs was just shielding Ramos from getting there. And here's Yuri on the outlet. Jones closes down. Togbo was open on the backside as Jamel Cox went over to help Logan Jones with Riley Yuri.
The ambush have done a really good job. Anytime that ball gets to the wide areas and it's driven off the board, they're immediately looking to box out that center forward. In that instance, it was Kyle Rivers, who just had no opportunity to get his foot on the ball. And even if he did, it wasn't going to be anything productive.
Lima, heavy strike off the glass. Felt like a bowling ball was hitting the plexiglass here at the ShoWare Center. Mendoza swings back for Correa. Briscoe checks onto the field with a hard run. Mendoza can't dance around Riley Yuri. Plays this ball to his right. Runner crashing, no. It was well hit off the boards by Mario Falsane.
Togbo with a glorious opportunity there, and he couldn't just sort out his feet as that ball came crashing into him off the boards.
Michaud with a great defensive interference there on Douglas Lima to just put his body between Lima and the ball. Here's another attack. Torrealba with a strike. It deflects just a bit. Torrealba goes crashing through the penalty area. Was maybe looking to get fouled. No call, but a dangerous shot that bounced back out. Cox up the boards for Fernandez. A strike! It's a great save that's pushed away. Cristo now into the attack. Nascimento is having himself quite a night tonight. Cristo's got space if anybody can find him. Jones blocks that entry pass. It's off of his head, so a stoppage in play to check on Jones. It will be a drop ball for the ambush. Jones is okay. Took a moment to collect himself, but he is fine.
Yeah, he's a tough kid. It's not the first time he's felt one of those.
Togba. Togba fights off Hernandez. This is Torrealba. Left foot off the short side of Luis Beretta's goal. Here's a dangerous opportunity. Falsane puts this ball into the box and O'Keefe can't connect. Beretta's gonna let it fly. He's got Ramos ahead, but Michaud gets back in time. It's ambush team, man. They are fast, they are electric, they wanna attack, they wanna defend.
I can understand the quick release there from Luis Beretta, but you know, looking probably when he watches back and looks at the film, he would ask himself why he wouldn't just want to go for the basic possession.
Media timeout on the floor. We'll step aside and take a break. St. Louis 5, Tacoma 4, right here on MASL TV. Welcome back into the Excesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Barron's Cole Weaver. Fans, if you disagree with the call tonight, you might just see it on the MASL's most controversial show, Under Review with Phil Levanco and MASL head referee Ryan Sigich. Catch it every Friday on YouTube. Back underway. Caceres gets things started between Correa and now Beretta under possession. 7.5 minutes to play in regulation. Tacoma Stars trailing by a goal. Tacoma still has both of its timeouts to use. Mendoza with a shot. Nascimento makes easy use of it. So I'm sure we'll see Tacoma utilize those timeouts and a sixth attacker within the next 5 minutes of game clock. Romero does battle, and it's enough for Mendoza to win the ball. He's got the ball now at his feet with open space, but it's 1-on-5. His shot blocked and deflected. Cristo plays up the boards for SK. It's dropped back into a little pocket of space, and now it's Briggs. Martinez dishes for SK, and he gets it back. James Thomas under possession. Yuri calls his own number off the boards. Correa goes sliding. Cristo, wide open goal. It's Cristo with the goal, but it's Yuri who does all the work. He deserves all the credit. Cristo maybe has the easiest goal of his career.
Que golazo. What a build-up that was from the ambush. And Riley Yuri just take a bow, son. Skipping past a couple challenges and laying it on an absolute silver platter for Cristo, who obviously makes no mistake, as that's such a simple finish. But what a massive goal that is in the turn of the event, just extending that lead a little bit. And I'm really curious to see how the Ambush are going to set up for the final 6 minutes here. Stars are likely going to have to press the matter as they're down 2. But what a fantastic goal that is. We'll be seeing that on highlights for weeks.
See how deep Tacoma can dig here. Trailing 2, 6 minutes to play. Briscoe. Ball bounces up on his first touch, not ideal. Lima has Jones and Briscoe. Williamson smartly just heads that back for Nascimento. And now he gets the overhand throw from Nascimento. It's back to Williamson. He's up the boards. Briscoe with a heavy shoulder. Takes a lot to knock Williamson off of his feet. And Briscoe needed every ounce of effort he did. Togba turns. Here's what St. Louis is going to do. They're going to drop Jeff Michaud all the way back, and this team is going to play possession-based ball for about 3/4 of the field. They're going to go up and attack and then bring this ball all the way deep to that sitting defender that they've had so often tonight. Briggs crosses the yellow line. He takes a left-footed hit. Cristo's chasing this down. Trying to go past Jones. Jones turns him up the wall. Has Hansen on the run. And Nascimento puts that ball up and into the netting. Beretta asks for a delay of game as Cristo pokes that ball towards the goal. And Beretta restarts with the hands. Cox off the wall for Ramos. Cox put that ball into a really good area where it was unsure if Ramos was going to get it or Cox. Correa. Balsane plays the ball forward. Ambush have numbers going forward. Deflection still bounce around. Beretta, yes, gets it, and he outlets quick. Here's the Stars the other way. Cox, left foot ball. And a blue card is going to get called because Nascimento's outside the box for handling, and that's going to send him to the penalty box. Challenge flag's going to be called because Kyle Rivers was making a run in behind Nascimento. We're going to go to video review for the first time tonight.
Really interesting because, Peyton, we had this almost exact circumstance earlier.
Blue card, 2 minutes, goalkeeper handling outside of the area. St. Louis is challenging the call.
Yes, we have a challenge on the play here, just in the exact spot at which Nascimento received that ball. But if you remember all the way back to the very first quarter, Luis Beretta was screaming at his bench to throw the challenge flag. Because he felt Nascimento handled the ball then, it didn't actually end up getting challenged because the Stars won a free kick. But this is much more impactful as we finally get to see a replay here. And that chest back, and you can see him stepping out of his box. It's clear as day. He's handling that ball outside. He's claiming it's on the line, but it's not.
And so part of this could be, is there a foul on Kyle Rivers, who is working from behind Nascimento to try and get in front of him to win that ball? That's the one thing I could imagine. Like, I think it's clear as day that there's a handling outside the box. But now it's whether or not Kyle Rivers made enough significant contact that forced Nascimento outside the box. So watch Kyle Rivers come in here. He intervenes. That's not a great angle, but he is in the back of Nascimento. So the call on the field is handling, and what's so important about MASL video review is that you need clear evidence to call one of these fouls. You need to be sure that the foul on the field is correctly called with the video, and you have to have undisputable evidence that goes with it. And right now, we have to make sure that there's some sort of angle that would support the challenge that St. Louis has thrown.
Yeah, Kyle Rivers has a hand on his shoulder. It doesn't look like there's enough contact or at least manipulation of his body position there. We're going to get a referee decision here.
After review, the goalkeeper handled the ball outside of the area. The call's confirmed. There's no foul on the play.
So there you go. No foul on the play. Nascimento handles the ball outside of the box. Blue card. The Stars are going to have a massive opportunity here as they enter a power play situation, the first of the evening.
And so you're going to get Jose Ogaz into the net for the first time tonight, wearing the number 99. And a shootout opportunity for the Tacoma Stars following the handling. And Torrealba is serving the 2 minutes in the box. Ramos is up to take the penalty shootout. So with this, he's going to get 5 seconds to attack the goal. The ball is not live following the shootout. Ramos will essentially get his 5 seconds to score. All players need to be at the bench area. If he is unsuccessful, they will restart a power play from a dead ball situation. Ramos on the run-up.
But it almost seems intentional as he stalls the goalkeeper and just a full fake. And oh guys, his feet get planted and cemented in place. Mikey Ramos at that point, it's a simple ball roll and a pass into the back of the net. There's plenty of time here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. 5-6 ambush lead, but Stars on the ascendancy.
So Nascimento is freed from the penalty box. We are back to even strength. The Tacoma Stars still trail a goal, and we are starting to get into the time of the game where a 6th attacker will be deployed. You can already see Jamel Cox off screen starting to put on the pink shirt, and as Luis Beretta settles that ball in his own area, he calls a timeout, and surely you will see Jamel Cox come onto the field to start as the 6th attacker.
Yeah, and then this goes to game plan. They wanted to just get possession as quick as possible. And Jamel Cox is going to step onto the pitch here and really look to orchestrate, play that quarterback role, and push his team into positions.
It's do or die time right now for the Tacoma Stars. They have a perfect record at home. They are 4-0, looking to make it 5-0, but they trail by a goal the St. Louis Ambush, the visiting St. Louis Ambush, who have a 2-win streak going. They're looking for their third. They're trying to make sure their season gets righted as they are on the road in the Pacific Northwest. Cox will be wearing the pink 6th attacker shirt, not to get confused with the pink on the Ambush jerseys. Should be differentiating just enough. St. Louis, I will mention, great kits. I mean, the uniform set for St. Louis,
I love them.
Between the blue and the pink, it's one of the best looks MASL has to offer.
Strong contrast, really nice bright pink colors. I think all the kits are great, to be honest. A lot of creativity and a lot of opportunity for these teams to show off some of the local artistic skill set that can be offered.
I've seen some good ones that the Tacoma Stars have already rolled out. Latino Heritage Night was last week.
I like
Before
those.
that, with Baltimore in town, they partnered with a local company named Etc. based out of Tacoma and made some really cool, unique kits. And a lot of the Tacoma Stars kits end up going to auction through the Live Source app. These ones tonight will not be on there, but you might be able to go out and find some of the Latino Heritage or the holiday special ones. So here is Jamel Cox wearing the pink shirt. He gets the game started, and St. Louis is on the high press right out of the gates. William S.K. was leading it, and now they call the dogs off. Tacoma needs to get settled.
Let's go, Stars!
So though this isn't a power play opportunity, it's similar. It's a man-up situation, and Tacoma has not been great on the power play this year. 2 of 12 successful in the 5-on-4 power plays. Okay, that does not take into consideration these 6 attacker roles, but it plays a factor. It plays very similar. So we will see in the next 3 minutes if Tacoma can be successful.
These are high-risk, high-reward scenarios. We're seeing Mike Ramos. Actually, forgive me, it's Logan Jones there in the middle, really taking charge.
Lima goes down the wall, intercepted by Mashad. This is Ramos doubling in on him. Lima back for Cox, skip pass over for Mendoza. Yuri, the defender, he's going to be so dangerous here. If Yuri gets a toe poke, he's off to an open net. Ramos gets a shot. Yuri steps in. SK clears. It's going to be nowhere close to the goal for the full field shot. 2:25 on the clock.
Yeah, eat my words. It's Mike Ramos right on the top of the box, and keep your eye on him when the camera pans out here. He plays such an important role as he's drawing 2 defenders, and he allows the...
Dangerous from Mendoza. Stars have a ball in the air right now, unable to get it down cleanly. And now a little bit of high press from John Gates. Gates has Caceres against the wall. Gates, if he gets a toe poke, he's on to goal. Stars might be able to break out. Christian Fernandez has open space ahead. Nobody sees him. And I want you to watch out for number 90, Christian Fernandez. If he can make a cutting run in, he's dangerous. Here's Ramos. 100 seconds remain in tonight's game. Lima turns. Cox for Caceres. Mendoza tees this ball up. Williamson sliding effort to block it away. Yuri's header, but only as far as Cox. Caceres, heavy ball into Ramos. Back for Caceres. Minute 10. Fernandez. Lima. Mendoza with a strike. Williamson settles. Nascimento then jumps on it. He waits. And he's going to use their final timeout of the night. So 54 seconds remaining in tonight's game. And right, Nascimento with the ball between his gloves. 54 seconds on the clock. Play will start once he releases, and there goes the clock. SK back for Nascimento. He clips this ball forward. Hernandez is in a battle. Fasani wanted a foul there. No foul called. Beretta catches. He gets the timeout, and now we will revert back to what we just saw. Jamel Cox will get onto the field. He will start the reset. Now, remember on this last time, you had William SK pressuring all the way downfield. Full court press against the Stars with the 6 attacker, and it made it slightly challenging for Jamel Cox to roll that ball out to Anyway safely before he could get it back and start the buildup. Curious if we'll see that again tonight, right now.
Yeah, Nani Mendoza was so important in that last build-up. Just calm in possession, simple bounce passes, screened off the corner, and releasing the opportunity to come forward. But time is not on their side. 42.6 seconds, and every single tenth of a second is going to be important if they want to ultimately complete this comeback.
We've had a great game on our hands tonight. The Tacoma Stars will take on the St. Louis Ambush at St. Louis on February 7th. It's the second of 3 matches between these two sides. St. Louis will visit Tacoma for the Tacoma Stars' final home game of the season on March the 21st. So we'll be watching for this season matchup all throughout the rest of the year. One more game in February, one more game in March between these two sides.
Yeah, so it looks like a low block here, Peyton. They're not going to press as aggressively. They're bringing one up.
And that's Gates. Gates is ferocious. Gates has a little bit of speed. Watch out for him on a toe poke. Here's Caceres. He's going to leave for Mendoza. Caceres is directing traffic. He wants Cox to go over to the left-hand side. Caceres. Mendoza chips in for Ramos. That's not the move. Yuri trying to bring this ball down. 20 seconds to play. Mendoza for Cox. He's got to go towards goal. Cox into the area. Cox with a shot. Nascimento with a save. Fernandez airborne. 10 seconds to play. Mendoza inside for Lima. Lima with a strike. It's wide. 5 seconds on the clock. Caceres. It's a heel flick goal. Nani Mendoza levels it with 3.3 seconds at the Accesso Showwear Center. The Tacoma Stars have forced overtime.
Nani Mendoza comes up big again for the Stars. With seconds literally on the clock, a cheeky heel flick to push it past Nascimento, who's been fantastic all night. And just the relentless play from the Stars not to give up. And we're pushing overtime play here. What a game we have in our hands, 6-6.
If there is a team who can score in 3.3 seconds off the kickoff, it's the Ambush. They have been incredibly fast off the jump. Here's another look at that. Cox has a shot. This ball's gonna ping around. Fernandez misses out on this, but this ball circles. Mendoza goes inward. Here's Lima. And nothing to build off that kickoff. Everything was right there with Nani Mendoza, the heel flick. Overtime on the way. Welcome back into the Accesso Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. Peyton Barron's Cole Weaver. The Tacoma Stars just capped off an incredible comeback. They found themselves down 3-0 in the second quarter and clawed their way back 1 goal at a time, and it took until 3.3 seconds remained in the game for the Tacoma Stars to finally draw back to level. Nani Mendoza assisted off of Alex Caceres. It's a heel flick for the ages. It's been an incredible night at the Showwear, and it's not done yet. 10 more minutes on the clock. We got commercial-free MASL soccer right here, and the Tacoma Stars are looking to pick up 2 points in the standings and protect that undefeated record at home.
This is what it's all about. What a finish this has been. The Stars have just been so intentional with their play of continuing to press the matter, continuing to stay adventurous in the attacking opportunities, and they have been rewarded. And my word, am I excited for this next 10 minutes.
Everything to play for. A lot of the times, it's a goal in the opening minute, or we go scoreless the entire overtime period. Here's a shot, and it's deflected by 2 sliding stars. You've heard of shooting stars? How about those guys?
My gosh, you mentioned it right there. Goals usually come late or they come early, and it very well could have been early there. What a block.
Cox in for Ramos. The tension builds in the Showwear Center. That ball careens off the lip. Nascimento wasn't ready for it. I don't think anybody in the arena was. Cristo loses possession to Hansen. Here's danger. Ball goes past Cristo. Shot deflected. Correa settles. Ambush have so many dangerous opportunities in the early moments of this overtime, but they can't seem to find that sudden death goal.
That's a brick wall that Douglas Lima just ran into in the form of Cristo there. First actual spell of reasonable possession for either side. Like you mentioned, Peyton, a couple chances that I guarantee the ambush are going to look back on and say we should have put the game away then.
Lima with a strike. Nascimento has to go low with the save. O'Keefe. Cristo in behind. Cristo misses out. He thought he had the game winner. Rivers trying to go upfield. Finds Mendoza. Wow, Kyle Rivers does everything to keep possession there.
He's so good in those 50-50 moments. He just is overcommitting in the best way possible.
Fernandez with a heavy strike. Cox nearly runs onto it.
Can't even get a word in here, Peyton. Both teams are just going at it.
Jones with the go-go gadget legs. I tell you, that dude can win a challenge from 5 feet away.
Yeah.
Caceres into the attacking half. Cox goes inward for Ramos and then cuts off his left. Ramos looking to turn, but Briggs is doing a great job standing him up. Fernandez, he's got a goal on his MASL debut. Caceres tried to settle back for Fernandez, but he just bubbled off of the run. First goal wins. If there's no goals in this 10-minute overtime period, we will go to a best-of-3 penalty shootout. Jones gets dethroned. Excuse me, that's Correa. SK, he's in behind. Hansen chasing him down. Beretta off of his line. SK off the wall. Briscoe taken off of his feet by Yuri. Bodies flying left and right. Here's Briscoe forward. No whistle called in either direction so far. Briscoe plays back for Romero. My goodness, everyone take a breath.
No kidding. And Kai Briscoe, like Kyle Rivers, is just absolutely relentless in those 50-50 opportunities. Came out on top, did just enough to keep that ball alive. And I think the entire stadium here needed just a breather.
Cox has it on his right foot. It's near side. Ball bouncing. SK clears away. Jones is going to get in a foot race with Gates. Gates thought he had a leading edge, but Jones does such a good job using the body.
Let's go, Stars.
Hernandez under a lot of pressure. Jones had to get that header away perfectly, and now it's Hernandez up the boards. Nestor Hernandez is carrying. He's into a double team. Anywhere in the corner, you will get doubled by this ambush team. Gates feels like he's had a lot of time on turf. Lima dances through one, but can't get past two. Gates with a ball off the boards. Correa flicks forward. Halfway through the overtime period. Cross-court pass for Ramos. Can't get around O'Keefe. O'Keefe.
He wanted everything to get it on that left foot and just bury it. And you know he gets a shot off there 9 times out of 10. It's in the back of the net. So really good defensive work in the end, but pressure's not over here.
Stars have possessed a lot of this overtime period. Can Correa finish it? It's wide. O'Keefe goes forward. St. Louis, they're on the long boards defensively. Handball as Caceres tries to play that one forward. Mendoza trying to restart, but he's in front of the St. Louis gate to the bench. Not the gateway to the west, but the gate to the bench. And the Stars get things restarted. 4:08 to play in overtime.
Peyton Stars have really managed this 10 minutes well. When they've had the opportunity to possess, they have. When they've had the opportunity to defend, they've done very well. Here's another one.
Cox, his momentum took him so hard into the boards, he stays down behind the play. The Stars need to get a stop because they need to get Cox off the field. It's SK going the other way. Jones does enough to get a little bit of a poke. SK got the ball back. Cox hobbles to the bench. Mendoza jumps on. The Stars are back. Mendoza picks the pocket in behind. This is Fernandez. He's off to the races. One-on-one with Williamson. Ball in for Jones. Jones off the top window. Fernandez on the full volley. It's up and over into the netting. Stars have a corner.
Williamson with a game-saving tackle there. That was on target, and he gets a foot to it, concedes the corner. Job's not finished, but amazing work from 5, reigning Defensive Player of the Week.
Stars want to use a timeout. Overtime period, you get a timeout, you get a video review. So the Ambush, who lost their video review, their challenge earlier, they get one back for overtime. Teams also get an additional timeout. He's behind Mendoza. If you go across court skip pass, you got Lima at the top of the arc. You have a left-footed ball in Caceres if Fernandez chooses to leave it, and that's what I think's happening here. Mendoza is going to try and find Caceres. Caceres with space, swings for Lima. Lima doesn't make great contact. This is Correa now.
Yeah, disappointing there. They couldn't find the look that they wanted. It was clear it was Lima. When I saw him come onto the pitch, I had a feeling they wanted his left foot in the shot, and here he is on the ball now.
Lima tried to go through Williamson, the reigning Defender of the Week. SK. Good turn up the boards. A heavy strike, and that ball is 20 feet off the ground. Randy Martinez, he's got 2 goals on the season. 6-6. Nani Mendoza leveled this game with 3.3 seconds in regulation. Stars fought back from down 3-0. We might be seeing an all-time classic.
Yeah, what a game this has been. Both teams have just given everything defensively and offensively.
Ramos turns and he earns a foul because James Thomas was grabbing him, not allowing Mike Ramos to get in behind. Nascimento maybe had it covered though, regardless if Ramos gets around him cleanly.
Yeah, really clever work from 25, using his body and using the pace of that initial pass.
So Cox and Caceres over the ball. You got to imagine that Cox is going to overlap this ball, and Caceres might try and find him down the line. It's a one-man wall. Caceres goes for Cox. He takes a strike, and it's inches wide.
What a save.
O'Keefe gets fouled by Cox. Oh, Jamel Cox almost just ended it.
I think Nascimento got the slightest touch there to push it. Need to see almost a slow-mo replay as that ball came in so fast.
Regardless, he has the whole post covered.
Yep.
It was a great shot and a great goalkeeping effort to keep that ball away. Nascimento, he's all the way up to the midway stripe, taking his time, patient. I don't know if this is the time that you go forward with your goalkeeper, but the Ambush are going to do it anyways, and here's Martinez. Williamson waiting to draw the Stars out. Maybe they're playing for the shootout. Cristo trying to back down Hansen. Martinez on an overlapping run. Cristo turning to his left.
And you can see Cristo just trying to orchestrate something as that ball comes in off the boards.
Hansen gets a poke as Cristo tries to back him down. Minute 15 to play in overtime.
He's communicating with his team just to settle, keep the possession, and he keeps wanting this exact ball right now. This is where he wants it.
And they're giving the Stars a little bit of their own medicine. The Stars are on the long boards right now. Here's a shot from Torrealba. Hansen clears to himself off the boards, but then the second chance effort, no. They're locking the Stars on the field, unable to get a sub. Torrealba plays for Martinez. Martinez has been getting a lot of minutes in the fourth and the overtime. Correa intercepts. Torrealba now going backwards. Williamson under pressure from Cox. Williamson's around him. Cox is fast. He's going to try and recover. Williamson's got to slow down as Briscoe comes forward. Cristo lays back. Torrealba, he had the opening 2 goals today. He's going to take a strike, and it gets deflected all the way back to Nascimento. 20 seconds in regulation. It's not over till it's over. Ask Nani Mendoza. Nascimento, he's getting ambitious. He takes a strike. It's just off the corner, and it falls back to him favorably. Another strike. It's too high off the netting. 5 seconds on the clock. Beretta, heave-ho. The end of overtime, and we are on our way to a shootout. Cole, I'm thankful that they chose the end that our broadcast booth is on.
This is perfect.
We're perched up in the corner just above the goal. Beretta on his line, free to come out. Thomas rolls up. Beretta makes a save. That ball pops up and over the netting. You saw Thomas going crash because you don't just get the one shot opportunity, you get the 5 full seconds of free play. You can do anything you want until that horn sounds.
Yeah, brilliant from Beretta. He steps up. It's so difficult as a goalkeeper whether you decide to bum rush the player, and you have to kind of read their body language. He steps up a couple paces, sees that Thomas is slowing down, stands his ground, and that setting of his feet allows him to really push off and make the save that he did.
Mendoza. Nascimento comes all the way out to the edge of the box. Mendoza tries to go around him, but he's wide. Nascimento, I thought, nearly made a mistake because he comes all the way out to the top of the area and exceeds the lines of the box. Imagine a handling call in a shootout.
Oh my word, Mendoza had him too. He just can't sort his own feet out and get that left peg around the ball to slide it home. Credit to Nascimento, he had a couple efforts there. Jeez, no goals yet.
Beretta makes the save on Martinez. It was as simple as it can be. No goals through the first 3 shooters, but it's just one touch and a shot.
We've had 3 penalties and 3 different approaches. That time it was almost no nonsense, but it was so simple in the end. Beretta had to make a routine save.
Here's Ramos. Took one earlier in the game. See if he can do it again. Ramos on the run up. Ramos pockets it, the Stars with a 1-0 lead in the shootout.
Mikey Ramos makes no mistake. Nascimento rushed all the way to the top of his box immediately. But by doing so, Ramos had plenty of paces to pick his spot, and he buried it. But here steps the Bosnian Cristo.
Robert Cristo with the game on the line. If Beretta makes a save, Tacoma Stars have a win. Cristo on the run up. He's wide. The Tacoma Stars fight this game off. They get a win. They stay perfect at home. What a night at the ShoWare Center. Oh, mamma mia, this is a good one. Oh, what a night it was here at the Accesso ShoWare Center in Kent. The Stars are back in action on the road Friday at Kansas City, but right back here at home this Sunday against the Empire Strikers. We will see you then right here on MASL TV.